Scent of Water on Mediafount Radio with Stephen Adeagbo.
My name is Remi Sonaiya. What else would you like to know?
Your profession?
I retired as a professor of French language and applied linguistics from the Obafemi Awolowo University in 2010.
Wow, that prestigious university. That's great.
Great effect.
Which department, ma'am?
Department of Foreign Languages. I taught French.
French?
Yes.
Es-tu Nigérian?
Je suis Nigérian.
Oh,
yes.
Merci beaucoup. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Je m'appelle Remi Sonaiya.
Je m'appelle Stephen Adeagbo. I remember a little I did in primary school.
That's good.
You were the first Nigerian to be appointed as the ambassador, scientist of the Alexander Van Humboldt Foundation. How was the experience, ma'am?
It was a very wonderful experience, but this is a purely academic thing. Don't think because it has the name ambassador, it's like the other ambassadors, that are diplomatic ambassadors. No.
Right.
The ambassador, an ambassador scientist, as an ambassador scientist, my job was to represent the Humboldt Foundation in Nigeria, make them known among academics so that they could apply for the grants that were available from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. I want to ask, what informed your interest in public affairs, issue of justice, equity, and Africa development?
I have always been interested in social issues. Traveling around as I did, being in the area of foreign languages, I've traveled a bit because of my profession. There was no way that one would not look at the societies that you are visiting, compare with the society that you live in and wonder what the difference is. Why is it that the societies, the countries I was visiting seemed better run, they had better services and things like that, and I looked at my own society and our standards of living were very low and many services, they were not functional. So I had to ask why. And yet I knew that Nigeria had a lot of resources at our disposal. So why is it that our resources were not able to provide for us a high standard of living?
All right, thank you, Ma.
Scent of Water on Mediafount Radio with Stephen Adeagbo.
In 2010, you retired voluntarily.
Yes, I did.
What informed that retirement?
This same concern about the state of our nation and the realization that we needed good people in governance. I believe that we made a mistake. Many of us, let me say decent Nigerians, because we used to think, politics, dirty, and so on. Decent people don't go into politics. Well, if dirty people went into politics, is it any surprise that the state of the nation is what it is today? And I also retired because I realized that it's the politicians that determine the quality of lives that the citizens would live. They would determine whether we would have good roads, good schools, services, water, electricity, and the politicians determine that. And unfortunately, we left our affairs in the hands of people who did not really care much.
Quite unfortunate
about that.
During 2015 COA party campaign, you advocated for the revamping of the educational system. From your observation, has there been any improvement in our educational system in Nigeria? And if not,
No.
what's the way out?
Not at all, not at all. You realize that the United Nations, UNESCO in particular, prescribes using at least 26% of our budget for education. In Nigeria, I am not sure that we use as much as 10%. And in fact, I am hearing, I have not looked at the current budget very closely, but it seems like it is even ridiculously low. This is way below even the 6-7% that we used to devote to education. This is, you cannot take education so lightly, trifle, with education, and yet expect that your society will develop. It just won't happen.
All right, thank you, ma. In 2015, you were the COA party presidential flag bearer. And I want to ask, is there any plan ahead looking at 2019?
Oh yes, I'm already in the game, as it were, in the sense that I am one of the 3 people who have declared their intention to run for the presidency of Nigeria under the platform of my party, which is COA party. So I'm an aspirant. Let's see who will emerge as the candidate.
Thank you, Professor Mrs. Sonaiya. Finally, we have Ellen Thorning-Schmidt, Prime Minister of Denmark. Yingluck Shinawatra, Prime Minister of Thailand. Angela Merkel, Chancellor of Germany. Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, President of Argentina. Dilma Rousseff, President of Brazil. And Julia Gillard, Prime Minister of Australia. Do you see a woman president soon in Nigeria, in Niger?
Those things, I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not good at foretelling the future.
Okay.
All right? And usually it's after something has happened that you then realize, oh, so it was possible, or so it was time for it. Think of the last US elections. Most of us thought that it was going to be a clear win for Hillary Clinton.
I never dreamt of
exactly.
Trump.
So it was like, oh, America was finally going to have their first female president. Ha ha ha! It did not happen.
Yeah.
So is Nigeria ready? Well, if Nigerians go ahead and elect a female president, then we would say, so Nigeria was ready. All right, that's the answer that I can give you. Mine is not to predict the future. Mine is to do that which I believe I am called to do. I can't vote for myself. It's the millions of Nigerians who are voters who will determine who they will vote for. So let's wait and see what Nigerians will do.
O God of creation, direct our noble cause. Professor Mrs. Remi Sonaiya, thank you for giving me your time today.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate you.
It's been my pleasure.
God bless you, man.
And you too.
www.mediafount.com. Mediafount, that you may know.